Coach, would you anticipate Grant Golden playing? Is it okay?
So that's going to be a game time decision. Grant turned his ankle in the opening game. Been working very hard. This is a little bit more time in between games than usual. So it has improved pretty dramatically, but still I don't think we're willing to say one way or the other, and we'll have to decide tomorrow.
He stepped on somebody and turned it.
He did. He had a layup there in the second half on a three-point play, and came down and landed on somebody. Yeah.
How'd you get Vandy here? It's been a while since the Southeastern Conference team has played the Robinson.
Yeah. Do you know the last one, John?
Mississippi State.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that right? Yeah. You know what? We scheduled a home and home with them, and then we were actually going to start there. And then, as it turned out, they asked if we could start the series here, and we were happy to do that. So thrilled to have them come to the Robins Center.
Is it too soon to kind of decipher what a Jerry Stackhouse team looks like, or is there any part of his presence that you can already see being impacted on their roster?
Sure. I mean, obviously he was such a great player and has coached in the G League, and is a very experienced coach in AAU or ran an AAU organization. Calm. He's extremely calm, confident. I'm sure he'll recruit very well. As far as this year's team, I'd say very calm and confident, and they share the ball very well. Would be the things that stand out right now.
Chris, when you weigh net values of opponents, where do you think Vanderbilt at the end of the year will rank among Richmond opponents?
Yeah, I don't have any idea, John. I think that's
more than it's a valuable game, obviously. Just
sure.
Their competition.
Right, exactly. I think when you look at those things, the NET, and you start to try to figure out, what's best for your schedule and how to build a schedule that can make it competitive. The high major conference teams have an advantage because they're going to play 20, 21 games against high major conference opponents. So that's going to bring their ratings way up. But it's impossible to predict any league and any team. So hopefully, I think this will be a good one. And, we're hopefully playing 4 or 5 high major teams, and I think that's always going to be really important for us. But knowing exactly what they'll be, that'd be hard to predict.
Did you ever cross paths with Stackhouse playing?
Did not, no. I think he was a few years. I think he patterned much of his game after mine, but he was a few years after me. Yeah.
Coach, while we're talking about scheduling, is Wake off for the foreseeable future? Or are they coming back next year?
Well, it's not on yet, but there's an understanding that we'll reopen the series. So they're not. It hasn't been decided when or what date or who's home first, but it hasn't. It also has not. The series is not over.
Do you see any of Scottie Pippen and Scottie Pippen's game?
So a little bit. I mean, he's really a very talented player, incredibly poised, calm, a great passer. That's what I probably would say the most. He's really a great passer. For now, he's only about 6'1". I think Pippen grew after his freshman year in college. But very poised and really a great passer, and, plays much older than he is.
If Grant is unavailable, is it as simple as plugging in Matt Grace and moving forward, or are you going to do something different?
No, yeah, we're not sure yet. I think that, Sal has played really well, and we've given him some minutes. Tyler Burton might be an option. So we haven't really decided that yet, John.
Is there a temptation to hold him out early in the year? Why aggravate something?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it a temptation. I think just trying to, decide, just try to best calculate what the risks are in terms of if he plays, he wants to play and is going to want to play. So we know that part of it. But yeah, I think second game of the season, we just have to figure out what's best for us overall.
Good chance to gain some momentum here for you guys,
Yep.
I would think, after season opening win and then, playing an SEC team here in your own building.
Yeah, it's great. I think that we have, certainly far from perfect the other night, but very exciting, and showed had some really positive signs from the opener. To have a chance to play an SEC team at home is always really popular, or really, a tremendous opportunity. So hopefully we can capitalize.
Nick, I know, did he even surprise you a little bit with his performance? I mean, I know he's good, but to come back off a knee injury and do that in his first game.
Yeah. Well, I had been saying I think he's better than he's ever been as a player, and he kind of really proved that on opening night. But yeah, I was surprised. I'm sure he had a lot of emotions, and to be able to have those under control and to play so well is really impressive.
It seemed like you had some emotions
Yeah.
off of Nick's game when asked about it
Yeah.
afterwards. Yes? No?
I did. Just to see, it's when you're separate from it, and well, Nick's out and he'll be back next year. When you're in it with him every day and stopping in to see him in the training room and see him go through all those things, and these little milestones that he hits, being on the court, being able to, work out, being able to do some things, and to get all the way back and then play great is it's just tremendous and speaks to his commitment. I mean, I knew he'd handle the rehab great because that's the way he is. He's really a hard worker, but for him to do so well in his opening game is impressive.
Coach, after the scrimmage, you said that you were looking for Nate Ko to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Did you see some more of that last game, and would you like to see some more going forward?
For sure. I thought, I'm maybe too aggressive because he had the 2 early fouls, but he was called for 2 early fouls. So, yeah, I think that, I think he was actually set to play a really great game, to be honest with you, how he started the game. Had our first basket on a great cut, had our first defensive rebound. So I anticipate him, showing his improvement that he's worked so hard to achieve.
Monkey off your back to get out there and get your first game under the belt here in your new home arena?
Yeah, for sure. I felt as though I got the monkey off my back. Just going into the season, getting more comfortable, that's my goal, and I'm just looking forward to a good year.
Earlier in the year, you're playing with new guys. Where do you think that chemistry is at so far right now?
The chemistry is pretty well. I mean, you saw what we did on Friday at the end of the game. You kind of see that toughness that we're starting to, build as a team, and sort of that resilience. So, the chemistry's coming along well.
What have you seen from Vandy so far, and does their reputation as an SEC team precede them as they're coming in here?
We watched film on them a couple days ago. Obviously they have size, so that'll be a key thing for them. But we can't really worry about that. We just got to control what we can control, and just focus on things that we can improve defensively as a team, and we'll be ready for the game Thursday.
How different is everything you're doing this year as opposed to last year when you were basically just a practice player?
It's a lot different, starting to take care of my body a lot more since, I'm actually playing now. So, just different things, different routines that I have now since I'm actually, eligible and playing. So little things like that.
How about playing with the starting unit? How different is that now for you to gain that chemistry?
It's important, because, in order for us to be successful, we got to come together as a team and as a unit. It takes everybody, to win games. So that'll be a really important part of the season. So
Did that surprise even you a little bit to come out there and put up that kind of performance in your first game back?
I guess so. I think I was pretty nervous going to the game. I didn't really know what to expect. I know I worked pretty hard, that the preseason had gone pretty well for me, but you never really know what to expect with the first game. I feel like the last 2 years I've played pretty bad the first game of the season, so I just wanted to come out here and try to play better, and it went well. So I'm just glad that it's over with now and I can move on from there.
How long did it take in that game for your apprehension to go away, just about the surgery and the knee and all that other stuff?
Probably not until the next day. I didn't even really want to play. I'd never been scared before a game like that. I was really nervous, but so the whole time I was just trying to stay confident, just try to breathe. I felt like when I ran on the court, I was going to pass out. I was so nervous. And then after the game, once it was over, once I saw my family, realized that hurdle's over with, and now I can just focus on the rest of the season.
Does the first game like that remove all doubt about the knee, the confidence, just everything works still?
Yeah, to an extent. It's just one game, and a lot can happen in terms of how I play and health-wise. So I'm not really going to sit here and act like that game is just going to make me completely comfortable with the rest of the season. I think it's just going to be an ongoing process, but to just have that confidence that I can go out there and perform, it's a good feeling.
Chance to start 2-0 now and get that second win over an SEC opponent. I would imagine a good chance for you guys to build some momentum here to start things.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't really had this opportunity too many times to have an opponent like this come in here this early in the season, the second game. So it's really exciting. We have a talented team. Obviously, anytime you get a chance to play a Power 6 opponent, it's an exciting chance. But we feel like we're confident in our group, and it's definitely a chance to build momentum.
What did you learn from the first game, both good and bad?
I think we just learned about our resilience. We knew we were going to have a pretty good offense coming into the season, and that showed. I think we still have some things to fix on defense and rebounding, obviously. But overall, I think we just wanted to get the first win, and that was important to us. Obviously, you want to perform better as the season goes on, but at the end of the day, want to know whether it's by 50 or by 2 points. So we're just happy that it's over with.
Nick, first game off the injury, obviously it's overtime, but playing 37 minutes, do you feel comfortable in that range, or is that something you have to watch this year?
I feel comfortable. I feel like I worked really hard to get into shape for the season. I didn't want there to be any limitations, so whatever the coaches asked of me, I was going to be ready to do. 37 was a good amount, but I had played a lot of minutes in the past, so I just wanted to feel good about it, and I think I did at the end of the day.
Nick, is there more excitement hosting SEC team in the locker room? What is the energy, amongst the team as you guys get ready to host a big opponent?
I think we're pretty excited. We're trying to temper our excitement and just approach it as another game. But, I mean, you can kind of feel energy anytime you have a team like that walk in here. Obviously, with Coach Stackhouse and some of the players that they have, they're talented. They have a good program history and all that stuff. So, I mean, whenever you get this opportunity, especially at this school, it's going to be really fun. It's going to be exciting. So, obviously, we're looking forward to it, but we're not going to try to make the game bigger than it is.
You've been in the locker room the last couple of years when you guys have lost that first game and are trying to climb out of a hole right away. Almost a sigh of relief, different feeling this time around, just being able to win that first one and start the season off right.
Yeah, I think unfortunately we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to win that first game. I think that kind of played out throughout how the game went. But again, I mean, this is kind of a new feeling for us. But we're trying not to put too much into it. It's just a game. It's one win, but it's a big win, obviously. But this game is just as big as the one before that. So obviously we want to be happy that we won, but we're just going to focus and approach the next game as if, this is a new opponent, it's a new game. It's a chance to go 1-0 again. So we're excited.
Do you have any recollection of where you were in 2011 when Richmond was beating Vanderbilt in the NCAA tournament? Do you have any recollection of where you were or what you remember, if at all?
So it's actually, that whole NCAA tournament is pretty funny to me. My dad is obviously an ODU alum, so I was actually I was cheering for ODU a lot during that run. They had just beaten, I think, Notre Dame or something that year. They won the first game or something, and then they lost at the buzzer. So I was like thinking, hey, can ODU, VCU, and Richmond all get to the final or the Elite Eight? So that's actually a weird tournament, but typically I wouldn't remember stuff from 2011, but that tournament specifically obviously sticks out, obviously with both teams, Richmond and VCU going to the Sweet 16, obviously VCU advancing. But no, I definitely remember I was watching that game, obviously, with ties to Richmond and stuff, so that's just a weird story, but yeah, I do remember.
Hey, how do your roles change, if at all, if Grant doesn't play or if he's limited in how he can play? How does that change the roles of your guys?
We're all going to approach it the same way. Obviously, there's going to be guys who have to step up. He's such a big part of our team. Obviously, he does so much for us, getting the offense moving, being able to score in the post. I tell people all the time, it's easy when you have the equalizer down there, when you can just throw it to someone, no matter who we're playing against, we feel confident he can score. So, obviously, whatever his status is, we're going to have to pick it up regardless. I mean, it's a good team, so we're going to have to step up anyway. So, we're just looking for the challenge regardless of who's on the court with us.